So I finally discovered how great coffee is today.
Oh, really? Go
Yeah.
on.
So I have to pick the breakfast up every morning from like the rich doctors who
Yeah.
all get free breakfast, and I get to eat the scraps. And
Please, sir, can I have some more?
sir, you're not going to eat all the bagels, are you? Well, you're taking them. You're not going to eat all of them. Shut up, boy.
He's putting the bagels on his fingers like rings.
Good, now take the boxes, child. But part of that is I get 2 big boxes of coffee. Yes, they are boxes of coffee. And they actually had some coffee left over today, and I'm like, fuck it, I want to try this. I'm gonna see if I got that taste for coffee, and
Yeah.
I did. I took that coffee, just like no cream, no sugar, just as dark as the universe and my heart,
Yeah.
and it was good.
Well, I mean, I told you, I figured out, like, because, everyone's like, don't talk to me until I've had my coffee. I won't wake up until I've had my coffee. I've realized that, yeah, coffee does wake you up, because approximately an hour after drinking that coffee, you have the most frightening shit of your life, as you're like, oh, where did that come from? Oh my god! And then you run. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time! It's time for a load. I said it's time for a load. Time for a load of BS! That's right, ladies and gentlemen, a load of BS, the greatest show on the planet, featuring the 2 best damn men of all time, and I am talking about he, the B, to the L-A-K-E, that's right, it's Blake Tanner!
Ooh, and tonight you should call me Bone Chilling Blake, because I'm here with Spooky Scottye, the S.
Yes, it's me, Spooky Scottye. I also have a dog. Because before it was during the BS rev up, my little Pekingese here would not shut up in the like hallway, and I was like, I've got 2 choices. I can either hold her to where she'll shut the fuck up, or I can just kick her. And I was like, well, I probably need to hold the dog. That would be a better choice.
Don't kick your dogs, guys.
Don't kick dogs. Here, that's a little lesson straight to you from the BS. Don't kick dogs. It's okay. It's been a week, Blake. It's been
a wonderful week.
It's been partly a wonderful week. Firstly, I would like to apologize for there not being not being a BS episode last week. It's just shit went insane.
Yeah, we had to get ready for this Halloween episode that we're doing.
Yeah, well, not only that, last week, for those of you who are also fans of our other podcast, Fight Boys, every pay-per-view we ever do is cursed, and I don't know if it's because it's Halloween or what, but this shit had some extra curse juice or something on it. Because
it took a while to work out the bugs.
Yeah, well, firstly, the episode of Fight Boys we had to record a second time, so
because my audio fucked up.
Yeah, we fucked up audio on the first one, so we had to record that again. Secondly, when we recorded the commentary for the pay-per-view, I just fucked up because when I edit video, I edit it at 1.5 times normal speed just so I can get through it faster, and so we watched it at 1.5 speed, so you're like, that was a very fast pay-per-view. I liked it. It was concise. And I was like, no, it's not. It was like 55 minutes. And then when you sent me your audio, I was like, oh no. Errors have been made.
Oof. Woof. But you know what? That's all fixed now, and let's move on to the good shit that happened, because a lot of good shit happened.
Oh, that good shit. You mean about all the alcohol I consumed this weekend?
God, it was we partied hardy across the southeast.
I guess yeah, we both did. You partied hardy in Atlanta and Tennessee. I partied hardy in Atlanta and Mississippi.
I like how Atlanta's its own state.
Yeah, the state of Atlanta. And so, well, let's be honest. If you've been to Georgia and you've been to Atlanta, you're like, this is a different area. I don't
Very
understand.
different.
So would you like to begin the story of our trek to go see, I guess one of our biggest influences, right?
Indeed. Although I'm not sure if we embody everything about it, but I think our comedy roots derive from our mutual love of watching my brother and me and the Adventure Zone, the McElroy podcasts.
Yeah.
But this starts a few months ago when you texted me all aflutter because they were doing live shows in places that we are actually close to.
Yeah.
Atlanta and Nashville, 2 days apart. So we thought that we were going to have the great idea of driving to Atlanta and back after the show, and then driving to Nashville and back after the show that ended at like 10 or 11 p.m. These are both like 3-hour drives for me.
Well, no, the initial plan, if you'll remember, was even worse. Because Saturday I had to go to Mississippi with my family because for Mother's Day I bought my mom basically all out Trace Adkins tickets. I went to meet the Badonkadonk man himself. I got us like the VIP everything package, like meet and greet, Q&A, everything out the ass. And so I was like, what? And so when Mabim Bam was announced, I was like, oh, it's in October. There's no way it's at the same time. Oh, God, it's at the same time. And so the original plan was us to go to Atlanta, come back to my house. You come with my family to Mississippi. The next day, me and you drive up to Nashville and then die, I believe was the initial plan.
Oh, God.
And I think we even discussed it on the show because we discussed how difficult getting those tickets were.
But thankfully, at the same time, my friends Michael and Hagen were able to get tickets to the Mabim Bam show, and since we all live pretty close to each other, it was easier to just come and pick you up, so we road tripped.
We road tripped hard, my friend.
And our road trip started out, basically, I'll go from when we picked you up because that's when the fun started. Yeah. Because not 5 minutes later, we stopped at like a truck stop gas station.
Yeah.
And we got some lunch.
No. I got no food. This motherfucker, Blake Tanner, was walking around like it was the damn Baptist church community picnic, and he was just like, oh, hot dogs, those look lovely, let me put some relish on this. Should I add ketchup? I don't know. Like, it was a 5-hour process.
Phone. I never use relish on my hot dogs. That is just blasphemy. I only put sauerkraut, ketchup, and mustard, and extra sauerkraut on my hot dogs, boy, because there's nothing else. And
I used all my techniques. I tried embarrassment. I was just like, hey, Blake, you know what they called Hitler after the war? A sauerkraut. And I did it loud enough to where everyone's like, is this dude making fucking Adolf Hitler jokes in here? And you were like, I don't care. You would become like a sentient robot, just like, I will complete my hot dog and then we shall leave.
Could not keep me from that. Like, once I get in building food mode, you're not going to stop me. Blake Tanner is a machine when he makes his food. You've never seen me make a sandwich, have you, motherfucker? It could take hours.
3 hours later, I give to you a peanut butter sandwich.
And it will be the most fucking perfect peanut butter sandwich you have ever eaten in your life. Damn it.
And so that happened, and then we kept driving down the road. And I realized something about Michael, your friend and mine. And it's the fact that motherfucker don't listen to music when he drives.
No. Well, he does. It's just his music is, like, I swear, for as long as I've known Michael, and I've known Michael since 2nd grade, he was one of my oldest best friends, but the only thing that he listens to is, like, dance club, EDM, hardcore, like, wub shit.
Knowing Michael, that's the weirdest thing I know about Michael now.
And he fucking loves it, dude. Like, he'll drop those fucking beats, but he knows that the rest of us don't like it, so he doesn't. so he can just drive listening to silent.
Yeah, no, and I wasn't able to. Driving up was fine because we're all awake and we're like, let's do it! We're gonna have a great day! Driving back, I'm not gonna spoil what happened, but me and you were a bit drunk. And, I just remember being like, wow, there's no music. Fuck it. I pull out my phone and I just start playing shit off of it. I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna be the new DJ for this car.
Oh, our thing about like late night drivings is like as long as the driver says is okay, you are left to your own devices.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
So yeah, we finally pull into Atlanta. I have to deal with a pressing matter with my girlfriend for a few moments, in which point afterwards you guys are like, what was that? I'm like, nothing. And we walk inside, and I realize that Hagen and I are kindred spirits, because as we walk into the venue, he just goes, where's the drinks? And I went, come with me, child, we will find them. And they both got beers, which were like $6-8 maybe, if they got like a nice one. Me and Blake Tanner opted for a different route.
One that I sorely regret from a wallet perspective, but they were very good drinks.
Well, not just that. Those bartenders took care of us. We both got a bourbon and Coke, a double, because we're men. And so, but my favorite was the bartender asked me, like, single or double, and I make the same joke all the time. I'm an asshole. I'm like, dude, I'm Irish, a double, of course. And he's like, man, it's just a formality. And he starts to pour the bourbon in my glass, and he gets done, and he just kind of looks at me like, I'm about to get you, motherfucker, and then pours, like, another, like, this one's for my homies, pours it out, and I'm like, fuck yes, this dude gets it!
Yeah, he did the same for me, because, like, I can't remember what I said, but it was something to the both of us, like, oh, yeah, we're really ready for this show tonight.
Yeah,
He's like, oh, you're ready for this show? You're not ready yet.
I got you. I'm gonna make you ready, motherfucker.
Uh-huh.
And so then we went into the theater, and me and you just kind of sat there and realized, like, for a while there was no one in the seats on either side of us, and I'm like, oh, they gave us a buffer. They knew how we were coming.
Mm-hmm.
Have we told the story on the podcast of... Well, no, we didn't, because we were afraid we'd get too angry. But we went to a show one time. And I realized something. And you are my best friend, and I love you. And I have to preface this comment with that. But when you get a little tipsy, you have the most, like, I don't want to say obnoxious, but a laugh that sounds false. It is a laugh that... But since I know you so well...
Wait, I hadn't even... like, had anything to drink. I had one drink at brunch, and that was hours before.
No. I'm just saying, in general, this is something I noticed, which is the fact that you have a laugh that sounds somewhat fake when you start getting it hard. When I know you're tickled, I'm just like, this motherfucker sounds like he's mocking, and so that's why I understand where this person was coming from.
Oh,
however,
you're gonna say, like, you weren't laughing right along with me with your big old bah.
You mean that one?
Every second. Yeah, exactly. That happens. When we both laugh, when we're both, like, getting it, laughing, I have my little giggle. And then Scottye does that big boisterous, like, that loud Irish laugh.
Yeah.
And, like, I understand.
Yeah.
Why there might be problems with that, but if it's in a show that's meant to have laughs, get off my fucking dick.
Yeah, because,
let me laugh, motherfuckers.
This wasn't at the Mabim Bam show. We should preface this. This was at a different show. We were going to see one of our friends in it, and someone turns around and looks at us and goes, excuse me, but you guys are being really obnoxious. Could you cut that out? And I was like, are you fucking... What? I was enjoying the show.
Yeah. We talked to our friends afterwards that were in the show, and they were like, it was so nice to have you in the audience because we knew it was you, and we were so glad to have somebody that was laughing like you. And I was like, oh, that's good, because the person in front of us wasn't.
Oh yeah, and they knew. Apparently, they knew the person too. They were like, "I'm gonna get that motherfucker." I'm like, "Please!" And then immediately, all my social anxiety came out at once. I'm like, "Please don't! No, that motherfucker was fine."
And I was like, "Please do go get him."
Yeah, and so that happened. So that the first podcast, which was Sawbones, right? They came up and they did the show, and it was all fine. And then afterwards, me and Blake just decided, like, drink. And Blake, the normal human being he is, walked out and said, "I need another bourbon and Coke." And
my good standard, the gold standard.
And as we were standing in line for a while, and I noticed that they had cans of Monster Energy drink.
God.
And I just remember looking at you and being like, I'm afraid, like, if I ask for, like, a Monster and tequila, they'll say no and, like, kick me out. And you go, no, the more terrifying thing is if they say yes. Cut to us in the front of the line, Blake being like, "Can I have a bourbon and Coke?" And then I say, "Can I have a Monster Energy and tequila?" And they go, "Yeah, sure." And I'm like, "Blake, we're gonna die tonight."
You maybe.
And so
I'm alright.
Well, no, the story gets better. The story has another layer to it. Because I guess they didn't want to mix them because they were like, he wants some Monster Energy in a can and then tequila. There's no way this psychopath wants both of them together. And so I realized a good thing to do when you're ordering alcohol. Get your alcohol separate from whatever you're mixing it with. Because I don't know if they just don't know how much a double is. But it was like, you know, a normal plastic cup with ice in it.
Yeah, it's the same if you're ordering from, like, a fast food place. You get it without ice because then they have to fill the fucking cup up, and it's still cold.
Yeah. Well, no, what I'm saying is the fact that with mine, there was ice in it, but then they have to put in the tequila, which you can figure out what a double is. A double is only like 3 ounces. They pulled that shit to the fucking top of my glass. I was like, oh.
It wasn't to the top, you over-exaggerating motherfucker.
Oh, I'm sorry! I'm trying to run an entertainment business, Blake Tanner!
I would say there was a lot of fucking tequila in that glass,
Thank you!
Though.
It was quite a bit of tequila, and my favorite was by the time we got back to our seats. Because obviously I had to pour Monster drink and then keep pouring. By the time we got back to our seats, I was just like, damn, I'm kind of going through this fast. At least the Monster's slowing me down. You're like, yeah, at least you haven't finished the Monster. At which point I up in the Monster into the drink. And I'm like, no. We're done. It's okay.
It's time. I will say, though, that I was very surprised at how little I felt like I was affected during the live show. Because it was very fun, and I remember it all perfectly. Because it was worthy of remembering.
Oh, I remember the whole show. I remember the whole night. That doesn't mean I didn't get fucked up. I just have, like, memory shit. I'm good. Oh, no,
it was a good night. There was a lot to be had that night. Because, like, we don't get to go, like, buck wild very often.
Yeah.
So, like, when we go buck wild, we go buck wild.
So, well, my original plan was there's at Dragon Con a couple years ago, and I think I actually discussed this on the show in like one of our really early episodes. I went to a place called the Red Phone Booth, which is like a hole in the wall that you have to have a secret code to get into. It's in a phone booth and it's badass. And I was like, guys, we need to go to that. But then I looked on their website and they have like gentlemen must wear suit coats and look fancy. Meanwhile, Hagen looked like he stepped out of like a Mac Lethal video. I'm wearing a blazer, but underneath it just like a shitty t-shirt. So I'm like,
he was pretty badass in his choice of dress, by the way.
Oh, Hagen looked like a bat. I was afraid we were gonna lose Hagen because a record exec was gonna be like, "Come with me, son. I can make you a star." And so afterwards, I was like, well, let's find another bar. At which point, I found a place called like Sister Mary's, like home sisterhood of the living room and ping pong tables, and it is a bar in like the deepest of downtown Atlanta, and it was themed after a church with like ping pong. And also, when we got there, there was a surprisingly large amount of Pee Wee Herman dolls.
Oh, just kind of like bouncing all up in the ceiling. This was one of the best bars that I'd ever been to.
100% I agree with you on that. However, getting there was quite the ordeal. Like, not in a super bad way, but when you're
Okay.
like...
Hold on. I would
Okay.
just like to say that the first thing that comes up in Google, if you type in church bar, is Church Bar Atlanta. And
Yes!
it's right there.
So yeah, we had to park like in I would say, as Elvis Presley would say, in the ghetto. And so then we get out of our car and we have to like walk.
Well,
we had to walk a good few blocks.
Here's a fun anecdote that I don't think I was able to told you about, but like, do you remember the church that we passed by that we parked like not a block away from, right? That had like the neon sign in front of it. That was actually a theater.
Yeah.
And
You told me about it being a theater, but
yeah, it was the Atlantic, or they were doing a show there. But I found out that the same night, the show that they were doing, a friend of mine from the theater community in Birmingham was actually at that fucking show.
Whoa,
So
hell yeah.
We were less than a block away from him, and it's like, man, this is a small fucking world.
So yeah, we went to a bar, we got even more drunk, and then we got into a taxi cab, or not a taxi, it was an
We got
Uber
into
with...
a lift. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, it was a
Rep
lift.
the lift, boys. Rep the lift, boys. I've got a fucking screenshot from this bar has a Wikipedia page, by the way.
Holy
and it's got
shit.
a screenshot of the very corner that we got picked up on
Yeah.
by the Lyft driver.
Well, we got... He was a bro, but also a little racist, so that was fun.
He did say some kind of racist things.
And then we did what anyone should do at the end of that kind of night. We went to a Waffle House, and
We ate
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of Waffle House.
I fell in love with our waitress for a little bit. Well, I think the first thing that should be said was Hagen had to call his girlfriend. You had your vape, and I hadn't vaped in a while, but I was just like, at that moment in my life, I was like, Blake, let me see your vape. Sure, buddy. And then you turn.
No.
Then you turn.
You took it and you walked away. And you were
Well, no.
gone.
Didn't just walk away. It wasn't just like, all right, now I'm going to go stand on the corner and vape Blake's vape. I turned around and I saw there was a building there for Amazon fulfillment. And I don't know why it crossed in my mind. I was like, there's an Amazon store? You think they've got all of it there? And so I just started walking down the street and I just like disappeared. And then at some point, some people started passing by us in mascot costumes, and I just turned around like I have to follow them. There was someone in a full bear costume, and I was like, I need to be with them.
I know. Now, you didn't know this, but Michael and I, we were sitting on the corner, not very far away, and we were just watching you for the entirety of your fun little journey.
It was a fun journey. It was me, like... I found out that I'm a very loving drunk, and I just get really happy, and I have ideas. And one of my ideas that crossed my mind was just like, why don't I live in Atlanta? Let's move to Atlanta. When can I move to Atlanta? Then the next day, waking up and be like, I don't need to move to Atlanta. That wouldn't work out too well.
I mean, you live basically halfway between Atlanta and Birmingham anyway, so...
Yeah, and so we, after that...
I would like to say about the Waffle House thing.
Yeah.
Michael and I both confirmed this, but like, so I always order the same exact damn thing at Waffle House. I know exactly what I want. I've made the mistake before of ordering a steak at Waffle House, and I'll never do that again. But I'll get a waffle, I'll get some bacon, I'll get some eggs, and I will get some of their motherfucking gorgeous chili. Waffle House has some of the best chili in the world, and I will fight anyone who says different.
4 drinks in, Scottye certainly enjoyed that chili. Because you're like, Scottye, I think I'm done with my chili. And I was like, I'm not! Let me see it.
Well, then again, like, historically hungover Blake loves that chili.
Well,
I've just realized, like, this whole story makes us seem like the biggest alcoholics, but we're not, usually.
No, it's just when we get together and have to go party, we party hard.
We do.
To the point where I remember the whole night, but I remember 3 specific things. 1, I loved our waitress. 2,
She was
that
wonderful.
chili was fucking bomb as shit. And
Yeah.
3, I drunkenly turned around and they had the Georgia Tech mascot, who was a Yellow Jacket, which is also the mascot of my high school and Blake's high school. And I just went, Blake, before we leave, we have to get a picture with that fucking Yellow Jacket. And you were like, okay. And then it's one of those sentences that you say and don't expect to come to fruition. Then
No, I fucking did that shit.
Yeah, you were like, Scottye, get the fuck back here. We have to take a picture with the bee.
Well, Michael still has that picture. I need to get him to send it to me.
Yeah, that's gonna go up. That's gonna be like the new A Load of BS like Twitter picture officially.
Anyway, I was saying, like, I order the same thing at Waffle House and I never finish it. Like,
yeah.
I know when I always get to the point where I'm done. I ate all of that fucking shit. I was so many sheets to the wind at that point that I was like, I need to keep eating. And I kept eating and I kept eating. And I'm like, I should be full right now, but I'm not.
You were like
I
the
need
little engine that could.
I need all this good grease to soak this up. And I wasn't even really, like, that far gone at that point. It's just been a long day.
Yeah. There we go.
I can hear your
Sorry,
dog, like, grunting in the background. Like,
I know, I had to put the dog down. The dog is now chilling on the ground next to me, sneezing. Which I guess is the perfect lead-in to talk about patreon.com/aloadofbs. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Patreon.com/aloadofbs is the only website where you can go to support these good BS boys right here. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Just go on over. It's a monthly donation. You can donate however much you want. Every single little bit helps, but of course we do have perks over there for you. Like, just donate $1 a month, and we will shout you out every single week on the podcast, like the Patreon saint, Deborah Moore herself, Scott Moore, all the fantastic people out there. And of course, donate $5, ladies and gentlemen. And we all know how hard it is out there for you, ladies and gentlemen. We know it's hard to get through life. And so, of course, we will send you weekly motivational videos from me or the bee, just helping you get through the week. But of course, if you want to be an all-star, if you want to be the greatest of all time, if you want to show that you got a big booty, then donate $30 and you will be in the BS Booty Box, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the BS Booty Box is here for you. Basically, every single month, I design a brand new shirt for merch.aloadofpurebs.com. And if you don't want to have to bother with ordering it, if you don't want to have to bother with any of that, just donate $30 over at patreon.com/aloadofbs, and you will get that shirt automatically. Don't have to worry about ordering it. Don't have to worry about paying for anything. You get it free every single month over at patreon.com/aloadofbs. Now, Blake,
Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up. Before we start this next segment, Scotty.
Okay.
In the Google Hangouts chat, I have sent you the Wikipedia page for the bar that we went to.
Okay.
And it is buck fucking wild, the things that have happened to this bar, or the things that the people in this bar have done. Hold on, let me just read the headlines.
Okay.
History. Hate crime controversy.
What?
Murder at Sister Louisa's church. And child trafficking controversy. We drank at this establishment. Although,
damn, we also just advertised this is the best bar we've ever been to.
the hate crime was actually investigated as, like, being a hate crime against the owner of the establishment.
Yeah.
So that's fine. The murder, of course, you can't do anything about that because it was just a crazy happenstance. The child trafficking controversy.
It's buck wild. You were right. Apparently, is Grant Henry like the owner?
I think yes, it is.
So Grant Henry got a fucking white paneled creepy van and wrote "Child Traffic King" on the side of it, and dressed with no pants and perv trench coats. And holy shit, this is amazing.
I don't know what to feel about this because it was a great fucking bar, but holy shit.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing. Apparently the owner was voted best bartender in the city.
I wonder if we were there with him and we just didn't know it.
No, I distinctly remember a lady helping us out. So,
Oh, well, there was a dude there.
yeah,
He was bald. And I think Grant Henry is, like...
Grant Henry sounds like a bald man name.
Anyway,
All right.
What are we doing now?
Well, now we need to move on. I thought that the whole weekend would take up the first segment, but no, now we get to move on to my adventures as I took my mother to go see Trace Adkins in
Thank you,
Mississippi.
Jesus. Because this is a wonderful Halloween episode so far, isn't it, Scottye?
Well, if you'll remember, Blake Tanner, our Halloween episode last year did happen the week after Halloween. So who knows? Maybe Spooky Ween is next week. But this has to get out. So, I'm
actually interested to hear this story because I have not heard anything about your weekend there.
Yeah. So, my mother loves Trace Adkins with a burning passion, and I get these ideas every once in a while, and I just decide to follow through with them. And I saw an ad on TV at work. This was like a long time ago. And
This was the same time that you decided that you were going to buy me and another friend plane tickets to come see you in Orlando, correct?
No. That was way, way further behind.
Well... Oh, no, it was the other concert that you went to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, me and my I saw a ad for flowers.com, and it was like, if you love your mother, purchase her a loving bouquet from flowers.com. My mom fucking hates flowers. So I was like, I need to get her flowers from flowers.com and leave a message in them that says, hey, Mom, flowers sure suck, don't they? Let's go see Trace Adkins. So that was my idea. That part didn't come to fruition because I was out of money because I just decided to go ham on these tickets. So I wake up Saturday morning quite hungover. Just like, oh shit, I gotta go get in a car now and just like ride.
That really sucks because Blakey boy, who had about as much to drink as you did, felt perfectly fine. Oh, I guess somebody's just better at handling their hangovers.
Oh, motherfucker, you wanna start? You wanna start, Captain Carbs? Anyways, so...
Hey, one day we should tell the story of our beach trip over spring break hangover.
Oh, yeah. And so we get in the car and we end up going to our hotel that we stayed at, which was the Hollywood Hotel. And I walk into the Hollywood Hotel, and I swear to God, the fucking Batmobile is there. I just see the Batmobile right in front of me, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I turn a corner, and the DeLorean from Back to the Future is there. And I'm like, oh, cool, they've got this theme where they've got, like, movie memorabilia. That's awesome.
Holy shit, I'm sorry, I just looked up the Hollywood Hotel, and I remember that I've stayed there before.
Well, my favorite was after I saw the cars, I was just like, oh no, that car fucked up a little bit, because they had the Titanic, and the Titanic was face down into a pool of water, so it was crashing, and I was like, wow, they fucked up that car a little bit, didn't they?
Do you remember, did you ever have, like, as a kid, the blow-up, like, slide thing that was, like, a recreation of the Titanic as it was sinking, and it was, like, 50 feet tall?
No,
it was like, you get to slide down the Titanic as it's fucking sinking. It's like one of those...
Yeah, no, I didn't have that. So we see all that, and then at this point, my mom thinks we're just going to see Trace Adkins. She doesn't know about, like, the meet and greet and all the other stuff, and so my dad's like, well, when you gonna tell her about it? And I was like, I'm not. I'm gonna wait till we get there, and then she gonna be like, what the fuck's going on? And my dad...
And of course your dad has the same voice.
Yeah. And then, of course, my dad, my dad just looks at me and goes, you know that she's gonna cry profusely, and she'll get mad at you because you fucked up her makeup. And I was like, fair point. So we finally tell my mom. My mom freaks out, comes over, kisses me on the head, all that shit. And then we go to see Trace Adkins, and the beginning part of it was an acoustic set, none of which was Trace Adkins music. It was just like covers of music, and I was sitting there like, oh god, I might die. So he covers all of that, and then he's like, all right, now it's time for us to do a Q&A. Now here, Here it's time for us to do a Q&A. And the most confusing thing for me was they told you, like, if you had a question beforehand, write it on a note card. They would give it to Trace, and that's how he would answer it. Then they come out, and he's just like, look, just raise your fucking... I'm going to answer these, but raise your hand.
I don't give a shit anymore. This is a stupid thing that my agent came up with. Fuck it.
Yeah, and so my mom has always considered herself the biggest Trace Adkins fan in the world. Well, we've run into someone who is going to be fighting her for that title. It is a woman with fucking signs that she has made. She went to Hobby Lobby and got shit for signs. She has a gift bag for Trace. 4 of the note card questions that were given to Trace were from this woman. She did not give a shit. And so here's a faithful recreation of Trace Adkins answering a majority of the questions on the cue cards. All right, let's see what the next one is. Yeah, I don't think I'll do that. Then just sets it to the side. All right, let's see what the next one is. He always had like a quiet laugh before every single one. It was always like, all right, fuck it. All right. And then finally it went to the crowd, and this one woman would not shut up trying to talk to Trace. And at one point, she kept talking about 4 years ago. 4 years ago. We met 4 years ago. And he goes, man, something must have happened 4 years ago. You keep remembering this shit. And she goes, yeah, that's when you said I was your official stalker. And he goes, oh, yeah, that's when I called the police on your ass.
Oh, shit.
Everyone applauded it once. Like, thank you. It was getting other people angry because there were people behind me just like, can someone shut her up? And I was like, damn, okay. And so then I went on to ask Trace a question, which increased, like, I just set out to. So basically the question I asked, and this, I'll give you the quick version.
I'm sorry, Trace, do you know what the full terminology of honky tonk badonkadonk actually means?
And then I just go into like this educational thing. He's like, I wrote the fucking song. Of course I know. I wrote that fuck beast. And so from that, no, like a couple years ago, we took my mom to see him at it was literally called the Mullet Festival. And not mullet as in the haircut. Mullet is in the fish, which is somehow more redneck. And so
because people throw that fish. The only reason that fish exists anymore to Southern people is to toss it. The mullet toss is a big event.
And so we went to the Mullet Festival, and halfway through, I went off to go use the bathroom. And when I came back, the concert was starting with Trace, and I was like, well, I want a good spot in the actual crowd. So I rushed my way into the crowd. And this is a reoccurring theme with most of the times I fuck up in my life. My phone died. So my mom had...
Wait, so at 5 p.m. every day is when you fuck up the most because your phone always dies by 5 p.m.
Yeah, roughly. And so my mom didn't get a chance to get a hold of me. And of course, she's still like, it's my 19-year-old baby boy at this concert full of rednecks. He's in trouble. So my mom didn't get to focus on the concert. She didn't get to look at it. So the first time my mom ever got to go to a Trace Adkins concert, she was distracted trying to find me the whole time. So I raised my hand. I told Trace that entire story. And he just looks at me, and I just go, Trace, can you please help me apologize to my mom for me being such a dumbass? And he just looks at me and goes, son, I think you just did that on your own, quite publicly, I might add. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And so afterwards, my mom is just like, thank God, because I thought you were going to ask him something even dumber. And I was like, all right, well, at least I'm good. And so she went up to meet him and get a picture made, and he just looks at her and goes, well, looks like you finally got your apology. She goes, I guess so. And then I walked up and got in to get the picture, and what was weird was across from us was an ad for something that just said, remember your mama? And I was like, what the fuck? Trace, did you put that there? And he's just like, aha, you go enjoy the show, big man. And so I then went out and we went and talked to my dad about everything because this was still pre-show. And then we went by to get my mom merchandise, and I noticed they had a honky tonk badonkadonk shirt. And I jokingly sent a picture of it to my girlfriend, like, I'm going to get you this. And she is like the least redneck human being alive. And she's just like, please don't do that. And I was just like, I'm just kidding, baby. Then we went inside for the concert. And this lady sits next to us, which, by the way, we've already bought drinks. And they sell a special cup there. A cup where you buy it for $15. But every refill, no matter what you get, whether it be fancy or not, whether it be a double or single, is $6.
Is this a souvenir cup? Because I know how much you love souvenir cups.
It is. We have 2 of them because Mama wanted one too. So we got our drinks. I got a Red Bull and tequila because I didn't learn my lesson from the Bim Bam show. And we sit...
I have a story to tell after you get finished about Nashville, though, that I just remembered.
All right. And so I sat down after that next to this woman, and she was just like, she instantly went in talking to my mom. Like, firstly, everyone's dissing on me around us because everyone around us was at the pre-show, and they're like, don't you leave her behind. And I was like, motherfuck, fine.
Oh, this is the mama hater.
Fuck
you, mama hater.
And so I had this woman sit next to me, and she starts talking with my mom, and my mom goes, wait a minute. Are you the lady who said she was a Titans fan? And she goes, yeah. We actually have season tickets to see the Tennessee Titans. Although I'll tell you, I wasn't gonna go if they weren't gonna stand at the last show. And I was like, oh no.
Oh boy.
My mouth was sutured. You know that scene from The Matrix where that shit gets like closed shut? That was me.
You had to hold that shit in, because if you went buck wild at a Trace Adkins concert, you might not have made it out alive, my friend.
And so she was just like, yeah, I wasn't going to let them if they didn't stand. And so she went off on the Titans standing for the national anthem, which I was like, whatever, I'm fine with. Then she went in on the president by saying, I'll tell you something, our nation's in such debt, we need a businessman. I mean, I know he says some dumb stuff, but I know he's not a liar. I mean, I'll tell you what.
He's done some dumb shit, but he's not a liar. Oh my God.
And so, now it gets better. She's like, I'll tell you, 5 years ago, I was telling everybody that Donald Trump needs to run for president. And then the mouth it started to suck inwards. It was my mouth going, don't you say a word, boy. Oof. And I'm happy. And so, the night goes on, and I look at my mom at one point and I go, mathematically, in order for these cups to benefit us, we have to get at least 3 drinks apiece, otherwise it's not a good deal. And she's like, okay. So my mom ended up having 3 margaritas. I ended up having 2 Red Bull and Monsters, something which was referred to as a hot mama, which was Jim Beam apple. It was Jim Beam apple and Fireball, I think.
Oh, and the least accessible of the Jim Beam flavors, but that's okay.
Yeah, and then a Scotch and Coke. So I had all of that in me. And in case you're wondering how alcohol affects me, like I said, alcohol makes me love people. By the end of the day, the woman next to me became my best friend. I was like, I know you may not agree with me and my political beliefs, but woo, honky tonk, but don't get donk.
I know you might be pretty dumb for thinking that the president don't lie, but it's all right.
No, it was to the point where I took a fucking selfie with her. I was like, come here, girl, me and you. We gonna make it. I had my own woo girl with me. Me and her were just both, woo! Woohoo! And mom's next to me. If you've never gotten drunk with your mom, do it. It's a fantastic experience.
Scottye, you know my mom, and you know that wouldn't be great.
Yeah. I just you didn't have to keep you just had to say Scottye, and then I knew what you were going to say.
Now Pops and I, we can do some fireball shots and we'd be like, let's play some video games.
Yeah.
But my mom is like, why are you drinking the devil's liquid? He's just pissing it straight in your mouth.
And so we leave the concert after that. And like I said, before the concert, I sent a picture to Emily, like, haha, I'm gonna get you this shirt, Honky Tonk Badongadonk. Wouldn't that be funny? And somehow by the end of the night, I ended up with that shirt in her size in my bag. I was like, baby, I got you this
Jesus.
shirt. I hope you're fine with that. She's like, okay, we'll do something cool with it.
Well, I guess this is another nighttime shirt that I can wear.
Yeah.
And never have anybody see me in it.
And so then we get back to the Hollywood Hotel, where my parents just go straight up to also, by the way, the Hollywood Hotel, we can probably discuss it on next week's, because I'm now establishing next week as Spooky Ween. But
Hey, if we can, I can talk about the fucking Fitzgerald Hotel, because that's where we stayed at a lot when, like, my parents and grandparents would go to Tunica. Had a bomb-ass fucking...
oh, no, I'm just saying that the Hollywood Hotel, the hallways looks like the redneck Shining. It's beautiful. Like, the doors look like if the Haunted Mansion had a hotel room. Like, it was awesome.
You
And
come up
so-
and you see, like, these two twins with, like, buck teeth, and they say, "Hey, come play with us. Bless
Hi,
your
big man,
heart.
come play in 64 with us. We just got Mario Brothers. Fuck
Don't
yeah.
come play with us. Bless your heart. Come on,
play with us, Danny. And so end of the night, we ended up getting back to the hotel. My parents are like, we're going up to the room. I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. What's our room number? Which is not a good thing to tell 50 drinks in Scottye. And they're just like, I think it was 723. They're like, 723. I'm like, okay, good. I can remember that. I go to the bathroom, and then I just spend a solid 30 minutes walking around the Hollywood Hotel, because there are parts of it where it looks like a shitty version of the Great Movie Ride, and you can just walk through it and be like, wow, this all looks amazing. That's what I did for a very lengthy amount of time, was just walk around the shitty hotel I was in. And then finally, I ended up getting back to my room and drunkenly dialing Emily and being like, I bought you this shirt. We're gonna do all this cool stuff tomorrow. We should go to Georgia. And she's just like, okay, baby, please go to sleep. And then I went to sleep, woke up the next day, and then went home and died.
So this must have been at some point around the same time that you had texted me and was like, "Hey, bud, I am not gonna be in Nashville tomorrow."
I think that was actually before I started drinking. It was
Holy
just,
shit.
well, no, because I realized the only way I would be able to do it is if I drove up, and I rode with my parents. So I was like, and also I was like, I am not driving home and getting home at like 4 in the morning.
So it sounds like you had a really fun trip, though, and I'm very happy.
Did have now, before we get into your story, because I feel like you've got some Nashville tales to tell, I guess we should let everybody know. Now, usually this is where we would do our plug for merch.alodapurebs.com, but Blake Tanner, it's almost November, it's almost December, it's almost the giving season of Christmas, which means
It's come earlier than last year.
it came a lot earlier than last year. If you guys will remember, of course, I think it was episode 20, was our New Year's Eve extravaganza that we did for Extra Life. We ended up raising $250 for Connor's Cure and the Pittsburgh Children's Hospital, which was absolutely amazing. But Blake Tanner, that was off of one day. One day of trying to get donations. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to go ham on Extra Life. We are going to be in the coming weeks, I'm going to start streaming video games on our official Twitch channel, which I believe is twitch.com/aloadofbs. If I have that wrong, you can check it out on our Twitter. We're actually going to be doing a 24-hour live stream, hopefully next Saturday for Extra Life. Yeah, I know. So we're going to be doing all of this exciting things just to raise money for Extra Life. And once again, we are donating all of the proceeds towards Connor's Cure this year. And we are going to have some perks. I have not created all of the perks yet. I don't know. I know we are going to have exclusive episodes of A Load of BS that are going to be recorded live during the 24-hour stream. So the only way you can see it is by donating to Extra Life. Or, of course, if you're a Patreon patron, you can get it that way as well. Or, of course, if you watch the live stream. I know if you donate $25, I cannot say what you're going to get, but it's gonna be buck wild. It's something amazing that me and Blake have been working at least for a month on now, right? If not longer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something we've been working on for a while, and we want to give it to you guys if you donate $25. And of course, for $50, if you donate $50, I'm going to have an official design exclusively for you guys. And just like anything else, don't have to pay for it. Just send us your size, send us your address. We will give you your shirt. And of course, if you want to donate, ladies and gentlemen, you can do it over at bit.ly/BS versus cancer. That's BSVS cancer, ladies and gentlemen. Help us help out an amazing cause with Connor's Cure. Help us bring some joy this Christmas. All thanks to you guys and thanks to Extra Life. So Blake, we've told my story. Let's get into yours, big man.
Mine is much simpler, I think. I'm gonna make it more concise.
Okay.
But first of all, my good friend Michael and I, once again, I said we've known each other since 2nd grade. We bebopped up to Nashville, and we took that city, and we made it our own. And by that I mean we drove around for a little while. We passed something that I'd never seen before. Have you ever heard of Carvana, Scottye?
Carvana. The name Carvana sounds familiar.
It's because it's a vending machine for cars.
Holy shit, I know what you're talking about now. Carvana is insane.
Yes, it's this giant circular structure.
Yeah.
And it's got a bunch of fucking cars in it. And you tell them what car you want, and you get to watch the car slide down to you like Gachapon style, and you get to drive it.
Is it a rental place, or is it a...
No, you buy that motherfucker.
Jesus Christ. I wish there would be like it would be like a Gachapon, so there's a giant, like, turn the quarter in the machine, so you have to, like, twist this giant knob.
Oh, God, yes. I was actually looking up, like, I wanted to see if there were any Teslas near us.
Yeah.
But, all their Tesla models are out. And I was like, man, Blakey boy wants a Tesla. He wants to save the world.
As if you were gonna come back from Nashville like, hey, Blake, you get any sweet merch? I got a poster from Adventure Zone, which, by the way, thank you for that. I got a nice shirt. Oh, also, I bought a Tesla.
Only $13,000. It's cool. 34,000. I'm so sorry. I misread that number.
Yeah, I was like, I will get a $13,000 Tesla. I don't care.
I would love that. But the greatest story, the greatest epic of our trip to Nashville was as Michael and I were departing the great, like, northern areas of Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
He said to me, Blake, there's one thing I've always wanted when tripping to Nashville, and that is Nashville hot chicken. Now, Scottye, have you ever heard of Nashville hot chicken?
I mean, I believe the KFC Corporation has let me know of Nashville hot chicken.
Yeah, but that's not the real stuff. That's the watered down version. That's the stuff that's made for the
That's
meat
the
wings.
Applebee's margarita compared to the margaritas we had. Me and my mom had.
Yes. So, on the way there, Michael and I spent a good bit of time. Michael was driving, and I was just searching for hot chicken restaurants.
Yeah.
To the point where we found, one hot chicken restaurant that was featured on the greatest food show in the world, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
As you said food show, I was like, it better be Diners, Drive-Ins, or Dives, or else I will not care.
And that is the original Hattie B's restaurant.
Yeah.
Hattie B's. They actually have a chain in Birmingham now, but it's not the same. And we wanted to go to the original Hattie B's. It's like going to the original Jim and Nick's barbecue in Birmingham. Like, there's plenty of Jim and Nick's around, but you got to go to the original. Right?
I didn't know that was the original one. Holy shit!
It started in Birmingham, yeah.
This is how I felt going to Stubbs Barbecue, by the way. Although I was a bit hungover going to Stubbs Barbecue, and all I really remember from that meal is the waitress being like, "Now, sugar, you want some dessert after that?" And I was like, "Ma'am, I just had a shit ton of barbecue. Don't give me anything." And she's like, "We got some mean banana pudding." And I was like, bring me it in a
Ooh,
fucking tote
damn.
bag.
So anyways, we were really dead set on the original Hattie B's restaurant.
Yeah.
The problem is, so the live show that we went to was on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
guess
is Hattie
what?
B's like a Chick-fil-A?
It's like a Chick-fil-A. Actually, I found out that a lot of restaurants in the Southeast are like Chick-fil-A's in that they close at 2 p.m.
Yeah. Oh no, there's one in Anniston that I've taken you to called Betty's Barbecue that
I remember, yeah.
has the best chicken strips of all time. Closed on Sunday, and I always want it on Sunday. It's bullshit.
Yep. I will say, like, a lot of places close early on Sundays, and that's the same problem we've had in Birmingham before too. Like, that one time, all of your friends, the Doves, came down, and
Yeah.
like, we were gonna go to some bars and shit, like after we did our escape game, and everywhere was fucking closed.
Yeah.
But we had to find a good compromise though, and the next best place in Chicago.
Damn, y'all drove so far.
But the next best place in Nashville to Hattie B's was a wonderful little restaurant called Party Fowl, spelled Fowl.
Yes.
And let me tell you, if we do go to Nashville anytime soon, Scottye, we have to go back to Party Fowl.
Okay.
They had a lot of great stuff. They had one of the best drinks that I think I've had in a cocktail, and it was basically just bourbon and orange Red Bull. Like the tangerine flavored Red Bull that they've had for about a year now, which is my favorite Red Bull. And I love that shit. I sent you a picture because the ice cube that they used was a perfect cube. A perfect cube of ice.
You were so pumped about this ice cube. You're like, Scottye, look. It's beautiful.
It was so beautiful. But other than that, they had their specialty menu of Nashville hot chicken.
Oh, yes.
God, yes. So you could order their chicken in several different spice-like levels.
Yeah.
They had, like, easy as pie was their, like, simplest level, and that's what I assume is, like, no spice whatsoever.
No, it
like
tastes like an apple pie. It's really fucked up.
Your normal chicken strip. They had mild, medium, Nashville hot, and then really fucking hot. Which, I don't remember what, like, scale they used, but their top hot flavor was, they had a fun pun for it. But Michael and I got, Nashville hot level. Nashville hot chicken. Which was the second hottest chicken. Which is, like, the normal, you know, when you get Nashville hot chicken, that's what you want to get. And let me tell you something. As soon as I bit into that chicken strip, my reaction was, holy shit, this is good, real flavorful chicken. Oh my god, I'm about to die. Oh god, please make it stop. It's burning so much.
Was it on par with the time we went to, wasn't it Red Robin, and they had a ghost pepper burger? And we had an amazing ghost pepper burger in Panama City Beach, and we're like, this should be the same thing. It was not the same thing.
I would say it was at least as hot or hotter.
Yeah.
Because that shit, like, as soon as I and Michael bit into that, like, you could see the tears running down our eyes, and you could hear, like, the sniffles and sadness coming from our defeated lives.
Now we have to go. I want to do this now.
Like, we need to do it again. Like, it was great chicken, but it was so fucking hot, and I loved it.
It hurts so good. Yes.
It was such a good hurt. Like, we got into Nashville with plenty of time left to, like, go see the show.
Yeah.
We spent so much time at the hot chicken restaurant just, like, living in our hot chickeny bliss.
Yeah.
That like, oh shit, we have to leave now to get parking for the show.
Yeah. I mean, it's on par with, like, I'm having to deal with spiciness every day because I told you about this horrid drink that I now consume in the mornings to wake
Yes.
myself up. Because I've now not only on the ketogenic diet where I can't have carbs, I'm now also intermittent fasting. In other words, when I wake up, I can't eat till 2, and then after 10, I can't eat again until 2. So I found a recipe online for a drink you can have in the morning that will not break your fast, but it'll help you out your digestive system, makes you feel real good. I've yet to get to the point where it makes me feel real good.
Please tell me the ingredients.
I believe it is apple cider vinegar, ginger, ginger and cinnamon, which
Yep.
when mixed together with hot water, it
Now,
actually
I love some ginger. I understand you on that. It's great.
I know you do. Anyways, and so you know, all that together, the apple cider, the ginger, and the cinnamon together, it almost tastes like a kind of tangy apple pie almost.
Oh, God.
Where it really gets you though, Blake Tanner, is oh God, I just now realized I have an entire beach weekend story that we don't have to tell. I can tell a little bit of it after it. But and then what they decided to add to it is cayenne pepper and lime juice. And so you taste it and you're like, apple pie! Oh no!
Now, I do have to ask, how much cayenne pepper do you have to add to this drink?
Like 1/4 of a teaspoon in a 16-ounce drink. It's
Oh.
still pretty there.
I'm gonna be honest, like, at least once a week, I make a bowl of ramen for
Yeah.
myself. And my go-to, like, additions to that is a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, some chili powder, and, some garlic powder and some, onion powder. So it's like, I get you. 'Cause I drink all that broth.
I was like, Blake Tanner, there is a difference.
Oh,
Yours
no,
is
there's
delicious.
not.
Yours is delicious ass noodles. Mine
That's
is
true.
shitty apple cider vinegar.
Okay, hold on. Are you about to tell me that apple cider vinegar is bad? Because, like, tomorrow
It's not-
I will make this concoction and I will live text you my response.
It's not that. It's bad enough. It's bad enough that I know it ain't good, but I'm like, it's healthy for me.
Okay, when we get finished, send me that recipe and I swear I will make it tomorrow.
All right, but yeah, when I went to the beach a couple weeks back, and I've had like really fucking busy weekends, which is why last week was so panicky, because I was like, shit, nothing's done. It all has to get done now. And so, but I just want to leave everybody with this is my final thought, everybody.
Yeah.
When you go to the beach, I basically got appointed as our official bartender, because I was like, guys, I know how to do this, and I brought all my bartending stuff, and it was awesome. So I made people margaritas, I made strawberry daiquiris, which I had never made before, but they came out awesome. Brady hugged me, he was like, yes! Here's what you don't do. When you see all your friends getting their stuff ready for the beach and being like, I'm gonna pack a beer, I'm gonna pack some cider so I can go down to the beach and have a good time, and if you're a person like me who does not drink beer or cider, don't do what Scottye did. Because what Scottye did was grab an empty Smart Water bottle.
Oh, fuck.
And-
I know exactly what you did because I've done it before.
And filled it with half tequila,
Yep.
4th lime juice, a
There you
4th
go.
triple sec, shaked that bad boy up, and then went down to the beach because I had the world's largest margarita. And not once did it ever cross my mind that I would even be remotely able to drink this whole thing. And by the time that me and Emily had to pack up and walk back up, there was certainly an empty Smart Water bottle in my back pocket, and I spent the rest of the day inside sick.
I have done this before, except it was with vodka, and lime and lemon juice. Like, I squirted a whole, like, you know those little fake plastic bottles of lemon juice and lime juice?
You made a shitty boy Sprite, is what you made.
I did, and it was delicious. And I spent the whole day at the beach with that, and I loved it.
Oh, no. You spent the whole day. I spent roughly like an hour and a half. And it was gone by the end of it. And I was like, this might have been a mistake.
Do you remember, like, the time that we went to Panama City Beach where we just had a cooler full of booze? And we went to that secret beach?
Oh yeah, Secret Beach. Actually, I told Emma about that because she was just like, I like these secret, like, I like collecting shit, like seashells. And I'm like, no, you gotta go to that PCP Secret Beach. I know.
Oh, next time we go to PCB, I will take you there.
Yeah. All right, so...
Oh, are you about to do a merch plug? Because Blakey has got to go.
Blake, the show's over. It's been an hour.
Oh, shit. We spent that long talking about our fucking weekend?
Blake, this is what happens when we leave for 2 weeks and we have busy weeks.
Yeah.
And then, so how happy Halloween, everybody.
Fuck.
So, Blake Tanner, what did you learn this week?
I learned that the only thing that keeps Scottye away from the Adventure Zone is going all out Trace Adkins.
Honky tonk, badonka-donk.
I also learned don't kick your dogs.
And I learned you never go full Trace Adkins. Blake Tanner, where can they find you?
You can find me at Blake A. Tanner on Twitter, on the official Nashville Hot Chicken site. Not really, but I love that shit now. And you can find me at the Darkroom Vidya. About in a couple of days from when this goes out, we will be streaming on the Darkroom Vidya. Us from the Darkroom watching the greatest Halloween movie, and that is Ernest Scared Stupid.
When's
It's gonna be great.
That doing?
What?
That's this Saturday, right?
Yes.
Cool. That was yesterday, so everyone have a good time getting.
Oh shit. Well, you'll be able to watch the cast version then.
Yeah. All right, and of course you can find me on Twitter at ScottyMo. That's SCOTTYEMO. You can buy my book on Amazon. It's called Queasel Corp: A Tale of Dicks and Douchebags. That's QUEZALCORP. You can get it on Kindle, hardback, and the brand new audiobook. If you guys have never had Audible, get you a free 30-day trial of Audible and make sure Queasel Corp is your first purchase. It costs nothing for you, but it still supports me, which is fucking awesome. Make sure to check out the Queasel Corp podcast and all the other amazing BS Network shows like this show, like Opposite Attractions, Fight Boys, even our YouTube stuff, all over at a load of pure BS.com. Make sure to donate, of course, as we were saying, over at bit.ly/BS versus cancer. Make sure to donate however much you want over there, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, leave us a little comment down below, whatever you liked about this week. I think it was a very different format than usual this week. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you are on iTunes or Stitcher, make sure to rate us, make sure to subscribe to us. Every single little bit helps. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us at aloadofpurebs.com. You can buy our merch at merch.aloadofpurebs.com. Donate to the Patreon. Find us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can find both of us on Twitter at aloadofpurebs. Accept no substitutes, and we will see you next week. I think Blake's internet cut out immediately. Awesome timing.